I'm David, and my mom is British, my dad's Brazilian, so it's kind of a mixed background. I'm 22, and this is my first time here at BYU. I'm a transfer student from the University of Utah, and it's been an interesting experience here at BYU. Right now I'm an RA, and so it's been interesting to be in a role that helps the residents feel that security and gain that sense of community. And so I've had a lot of experiences in my life, whether through the mission or from other friends that have needed some help and didn't know where to find it, or would always think that maybe I'm not normal or this shouldn't be happening to me. And it's been an interesting experience to be there as a support for someone who needs that. I think all of us at one point in our lives or another face difficulties, and so it's important for us to realize that someone might be passing through something difficult and to put ourselves in another person's shoes. And also to remember that the Savior is always there for us. And that's helped me a lot to be able to realize that the Savior is there for us. Coming to a school that is endorsed by the LDS Church is a huge blessing. And the resources that are available here to students, whether through the CAPS, the counseling program, or through the support system that it has set up. And I just remember a story from an experience of mine, actually, from a friend who was passing through difficulties, and she was not sure if it was normal for someone to have feelings of depression or anxiety like that. And she always thought, I guess there's a big paradigm that these type of things aren't the most common, that it's unusual. But in actuality, a lot of people are suffering from that. And it was a blessing to be a part of the experience to help her realize that there's people there for her, people love her, and that each of one of us have support groups that we can go to. If we are able to look up and see the people around us, that's the first step. But I think it all starts with talking. There's no way to find help if we don't speak out first. And so that's not only for the people who are in need of a mental health support group, but that's also for any type of problem that we're facing. Communication is key. And then after that, it was really special to be able to listen to her. I think we need to be aware as friends, as family members, that people at times just need someone to listen to them. And so that, just being there for her, helped her get it out. And after that, I was able to understand a little bit of where she was coming from and direction her to get some help. And at the counseling center is an amazing place where they have trained professionals to help people to overcome these difficulties. And sometimes some people might need some pills and medication for that, and that's all right. Just like somebody with diabetes should get insulin shots, anybody that's suffering from a condition should be able to find the help that they need.
So it said when you were taking the survey, one thing that you did mention is you were a perfectionist and care a lot about body image. However, you've been able to cope and never felt overwhelmed, depressed, and anxious, but you can understand how some people might. So you just told us how, everyone needs help. Mm-hmm. And it's not a shameful thing to need help, especially if you do need medication or if you do need people to talk to or medical help. One thing I would love to hear is how you can apply this to yourself personally. Tell us a little bit more about your story and how you've specifically either used these resources or struggled or something along those lines.
Something, I guess, big in the model industry is where people are constantly forcing you to a certain type or a certain shape or a certain look. Not anymore. Okay. But it was interesting, the diets that you would have to take, and a lot of times you'd feel like, oh, I'm not up to that. But the interesting part is that we can all find worth in our divine nature. And so that's something that really helped, going back to the atonement and realizing that we have a purpose here, that it's not just based on looks, or it's not based off of the way we have to like appear before the people, trying to fit into the social media norms. But I think it's interesting that, at least for me, that we can get that help from the Savior, and also from the people and support systems that I talked about. So my family was a big part in making sure that at times I just probably needed to be humble enough to accept, hey, I know there's lots of people out there. I'm probably not going to be anywhere on the list of Forbes or anything like that. So it's like, okay, and just realizing each of us has a different role and potential in this life, and that we're all sons and daughters of God. We're all made in His image. So judging somebody by their looks isn't something that Jesus would do. Mm-hmm. And so that kind of helped change my paradigm. And so that's been interesting.
So you're in an industry where obviously beauty is highly valued, and a lot of times the societal norms aren't really what's real. There's a lot of changing, a lot of high expectations, and you said that you were able to overcome those and be better with yourself and with others through the atonement.
Yeah.
So one thing that I would like to know a little bit more about is where are you in your story now? You said you kind of were able to, through the atonement, rise above some of the issues that were presented, rise above a job that really put a lot of pressure on you personally and physically, spiritually. So where are you in your story now? Like, are you at the beginning of working through your mental health, kind of at the middle, like it's still an ongoing process? I mean, that's for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Or do you feel like you've got a good handle on things that were bugging you, things that were hard to grasp? Where are you in your story?
I would say that I'm at the part where, like, I've got a good grasp now. I think the mission really helped me to understand more fully the atonement, and also like the experiences with just dealing with various types of people from all types of walks of life. I served in Brazil, and so Brazil also has a pretty big, I guess, culture of appearance down there, and so it was interesting to also be able to help people in that aspect. And so I think just being able to listen and understand different people also helped me. And so I think sometimes if we start putting ourselves in other people's feet, if we start serving them, then we'll be able to love another person and also realize our worth as well.
Perfect, thank you. And thank you for being willing to share your story.
Yeah.
I know it's not easy at times.
Oh, yeah.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, go for it.
When did you kind of, because one of our parts is recognizing, how did you in your personal life recognize that, like, you're more than what this is? Or how did you recognize, like, okay, I might need to get help? Or when did that, like, either sometimes it's a low point or someone talking to you, when did that kind of happen?
So it's kind of like a more natural process. I don't know if it was like a moment where I ever had that, like, wow, here's a problem I need to fix. It was more of like, maybe I am feeling down, or why am I sad today? I have so many things to be grateful for. And then just going back and realizing all the stuff that I had been blessed with, the church and my family and friends that were there to support and love me. And so I think that is a big part in realizing, maybe recognizing that we are here for a purpose, and that I guess things of the world don't or shouldn't be in front of our spiritual goals.